Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something I think a lot of us struggle with, overthinking.
Absolutely, that constant mental chatter.
Exactly. We've looked at some really interesting ideas, sort of boiled them down
Yeah.
to help you clear out that mental clutter and, focus on what's actually important.
hmm So the mission really is to give you some practical tools, some takeaways to quiet that overthinking mind.
Right. Get you focused. Okay, let's jump in. First up is this idea of simplifying life.
Yeah, basically it's about cutting down on the unnecessary things, right? Whether it's physical clutter or just like too many things on your mental plate.
And the connection they make is how that clutter just drains your energy. You ever feel completely wiped out, but you haven't really done much?
Oh, totally. It's like background processes running on your computer, slowing everything down.
That's a great analogy.
And when you consciously get rid of the non-essentials, you free up bandwidth, mentally speaking. More energy, more time for what counts.
Makes sense. Then there's this related point about the myth of perfection.
Ah, yes, the perfect goal trap.
Right. It's positioned as this major trigger for anxiety. The advice instead is, well, just do your best, your own best.
And crucially, seeing mistakes not as failures, but as, learning moments, feedback.
Exactly. Sincerity over some impossible standard of perfection.
Yeah.
It feels healthier.
It really does. That constant striving for perfect, that's prime overthinking territory. Realizing that, effort and learning from slip-ups is the progress. That's freeing.
Totally. Okay, moving on. Living in the present moment. This is a big one.
Huge, because constantly replaying the past or worrying about the future, it's just not productive.
Not at all. Life is happening right now in this moment.
And when you tune into now, you can actually appreciate what you have, what's around you.
Just noticing your surroundings, the small things. That's where they say real happiness often lies. It reminds me a bit of mindfulness practice.
Precisely. That non-judgmental awareness, it breaks the cycle of mental time travel that fuels overthinking, anchoring yourself in the present.
Good point. Now, something that often pulls us out of the present, comparison.
Oh, the comparison game. Yeah, the sources are pretty clear on this.
Everyone's on their own path, their own timeline, right? Comparing just chips away at your confidence.
It really does. It's a fast track to feeling inadequate and, overthinking everything about your own progress.
So the idea is to value your journey, your efforts. Easier said than done sometimes, though.
True, but essential for well-being. Focus on your own lane.
Okay, what about dealing with criticism? That can definitely kickstart an overthinking spiral.
For sure. The advice seems to be twofold. Listen, because sometimes there's valuable insight for growth.
Constructive feedback.
Right, but don't internalize it to the point where it crushes your self-worth. You need self-acceptance, belief in your own value. That's your filter.
Like a shield, almost. Filtering the useful from the just plain negative.
Exactly. Which leads nicely into the next point. Focusing on what actually matters.
Yeah, spending energy worrying about trivial stuff. It's just an energy leak.
Total drain. The idea is to consciously direct that focus, that energy towards the people, the activities, the things that genuinely add value to your life.
Be intentional about where your attention goes.
And naturally, if your focus is there, there's less room for overthinking the unimportant stuff. It ties back to simplifying, really.
It all seems quite connected. Then we get to the source of happiness. The insight here is that it's an inside job.
Not something you get from outside external validation, possessions, whatever. It comes from within.
From your perspective, from self-acceptance and appreciating the little things day to day.
Yeah, cultivating gratitude, self-compassion. That creates a more stable kind of happiness, one that doesn't depend so much on external circumstances. Less reason to overthink things you can't control.
Right. And speaking of things we can't control, the final point, embracing uncertainty.
This is key, I think. Life just doesn't give us all the answers, does it?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
And overthinking is often born from wanting that certainty, that control.
Exactly. So instead of fearing the unknown, the idea is to reframe it. See it as maybe an opportunity for growth.
Pushing through challenges, navigating ambiguity, that's how you build resilience, strength.
It's about accepting that uncertainty is part of life and finding ways to move forward anyway. Liberating, in a way.
Okay, so quite a journey there. We've touched on simplifying, letting go of perfectionism, being present, avoiding comparison.
Handling criticism wisely, focusing energy, finding happiness within, and embracing uncertainty.
Yeah, a lot packed in. Hopefully these distilled ideas offer a useful starting point for you.
Definitely. Maybe just reflect on which one really clicked for you today. Is there one small thing, one tiny step you could try?
A little shift in perspective, perhaps? This deep dive is just the beginning, a way to start clearing the path.
So the question to leave you with is, what's one small change you might make?